G'day legends, I hope you're all amazing. On today's video, I'm going to build a guitar. And what I really mean by that is I'm going to assemble a guitar from some parts. The amazing Aaron over at Warmoth Guitar Products reached out to me a little while ago, and we decided to collaborate on a very fun build. In doing this, I thought it might be fun to sit down with my amazing wife, Elspeth, who's also a very gifted cosplayer and who has a much better eye for style than I do, to spec out this instrument using the builder on Warmoth. We're going to spec a neck and a body. I've got some parts that I've already ordered to flesh out this instrument, and I'll show you a little bit of the build process along with some tones. This one's going to be very, very fun. All right, I'm on the Warmoth website with my wonderful wife, Elspeth, who you can find her pretty amazing cosplay, if I do say so myself, at Pixelated Pirate on, you just use Instagram, right?
Oh, yeah, mainly just Instagram.
You're not one of these multi-platform
No, not really a
content creators.
Content creator, but Instagram.
There you go. You can check out, you can check it all out.
You won't recognize me, but I'll be there.
Trust me, it's her. Let's spec a neck. Now, I kind of already know what I want, but just so you can see, if you had to pick a neck style out of all of these options that Warmoth offer, would you go?
There's a lot of options.
Would you go sharp, pointy boy, bit of a pterodactyl, something like this?
Okay, let's just like tell the folks at home as well that I don't know what's cool on guitars. I just purely go, I like that, and a lot of times he goes, that's horrendous. So we're just gonna bear that in mind. That one.
Yeah, the pointy boy. So there you go.
Yeah.
You've got good taste. I think that's quite cool.
But I just mean like that's outrageous to me. You
Right,
know,
right.
Like that looks like that's not a knife. This is a knife.
That is, isn't it? Like, that's not a knife. That's a knife. Exactly.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, I like the shape of that one. So I think that's a good.
It's a good middle ground between sort of all of these. So
Yeah.
you can click just custom build and it will come up with the neck that you want. And while our very primitive Australian internet is loading that, let's pick out a body. So again, Warmoth kind of do everything. You've got all the traditional shapes, and then
And you can pick these shapes and then pick the colors, right?
you can, well, we're going to see.
Oh.
And everybody else is going to see what's happening. Then you're getting outrageous with some of these shapes in here. So they've got traditional, very non-traditional, doubles.
Oh, you definitely need that shape. In
Yeah.
your life.
Or just imagine taking this and not shaping it.
I just want that.
The one, tell me, am I totally crazy that this is very much in line with what you would pick for me based on what you know I like? But this, the Dinky Caster, so it's not a traditional Strat or Telly. It's not a super crazy offset. It's just like, especially that in that color.
Well, I was going to say, because it's black, I feel like you're already drawn to it because the default is black. I saw some little V's and things in there, like Pantera-esque type things, which, like the Texan in me is like, I see that a lot. That looks cool. But yeah, for you, I probably would pick something.
So we're going to do the Dinky Caster. This is aligning with my vision already.
Yeah.
I just really like that, and I feel like the one thing that I definitely want to do with the neck will suit this very well. So talk about the first thing we're going to do with the neck. So you can choose all of these options, right?
I see this is going well with you listening to my opinions.
Yep. This is my one thing, the one spec that I want with this build, and it's to build a baritone.
Yep.
And Warmoth offer a baritone scale conversion, so it will fit on any standard Fender style body.
Yep.
You could take an existing guitar that you already have, you can take any of their other bodies and do this baritone conversion. It's just going to be very long. So with that in mind, shaftwood. You got your flame.
I like that. I like the flame. That's pretty cool.
You got bird's eye. They have some exotic options as well. Like, I believe this is pronounced wenge, which is, and it's a very like textured.
Not wenge.
Yeah. I've seen some people say wenge. I've only ever used wenge. I don't know. I've also heard wengie, which I'm sure is maybe correct, but who knows? But yeah, they have all these really nice solid options. You've also got, and I feel like you'll enjoy this, there's a very hip modern thing is roasted maple where they heat treat it. So it's a bit darker.
Yeah.
And you can get that.
I do like the darker ones.
Yeah. You can just go plain roasted maple, or you can, like a bit of roasted flame maybe.
Yeah, that one's very cool.
Now, should we go as is, or should we go for something like you know, you go for a very dark timber on the neck, or should we do something that's the same or maybe a little bit offset, like you could go roasted flame maple.
Yeah.
But they have all these options. Like you can get Macassar ebony, which is going to be almost black, a little bit streaky. You can get canary, which will probably be
That
quite
one
similar
looks,
to the maple.
it was loaded. I was like, that's close, but no, I see what it's done.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's a bit much. I feel like it looks a bit Frankenstein sometimes when it's too different in color.
Yeah. What about this?
That's quite
unique.
cool. Yeah, I like the
Goncalo
stripes
Alves.
on that. And I feel like the color on that.
I have never played a guitar with Goncalo Alves.
Yeah, that's very cool.
All right.
Like that one.
It's happening. All right. Nut width. Well,
hey, listen to me.
One option.
These look like things that are going to be more your area of expertise rather than stylistic stuff.
Let's do a super fat one on there. 10 or a 9.5 compound. Let's do 10 to 16 so it gets really flat up the top. There's going to be a huge neck. I want to do giant frets on this. I mean, look, if you go out and want to custom order a guitar sometimes, you end up paying hundreds of dollars for stainless steel frets as an option.
Yeah.
If you want to get a stainless refret on a guitar, often it's like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Or you can just start with it right and it's an extra 30 bucks.
Go right
I like that option a lot. Yeah. I'm going to order some Godot tuners, so that makes sense. Now, inlays.
Our lasagna's done.
Well, we'll be right back, folks.
Dinner.
You're so much better at this when it comes to actually showing options. I'm just like, yep, get in there. Made up my mind.
Well, you know, you need to show the people what the options could be.
Blocks. You've got diamonds.
Mm. What about the, I saw some like mother of pearl options.
Look at all of this.
Oh, whoa. That's a lot.
Unks.
See, you're talking about, the unks is quite cool, actually. You know, how I'm better at showing options, but I'm, you know, with character creation in games and stuff, that's just what I spend most of the game on. So that's what I would be doing with stuff like this, is looking at everything.
The turtle inlay is cool.
The turtle one is very cool, actually.
The lightning bolts.
It's very rock and roll. It's very classic rock, I think. Like
I feel like
cheesy.
With that pointy boy headstock that you were pointing out before, that would go.
Yeah.
You were just watching Pirates of the Caribbean. There you go.
Yeah.
I think though.
Or the skull and crossbones really would be the.
Yeah, there you go. That would be the proper one.
Yes. Oh, I like the bones actually. Yeah. I kind of wish you had just all bones.
Again, because I don't have anything with Goncalo.
Yeah.
And I've never seen a guitar with it.
It's a nice texture. You don't want to you want to show that off.
All right.
So I think it looks all right like that.
I'm going to skip the inlays. We'll go rogue and not pick any of these, but need side dots. So let's go all out and get the mother of pearl side dots because
they don't show those as options. It's just
you can't see the side.
Use your imagination.
Yeah. Or just get a nice surprise when it comes in. For the nut, what do they offer? You can get Corian, you can get Tusk. I know Tusk is yeah. We're gonna do black Tusk to go with that. I reckon no finish on this because it could be cool to either leave it unfinished or just do an oil finish.
Options though.
Well, you can have.
Oh, okay. So it's like pretty standard stuff. Yeah. Okay.
So they can do the hard work for you, or I've got a telly that I made years ago from Warmoth parts, and I went with no finish, and after like 15 years, it's like a little bit grimy, but I've oiled it every time I change the string, so it's got this cool.
You put the love into it.
Yeah,
that's all right.
All right, we're gonna go no finish either. So there you go. That's
nude.
That's what we're gonna do. Yeah, it's a nudie neck.
It's a nude
all right,
neck.
Let's do the opposite with the body and get because they can do some amazing finishes. So the dinky caster construction. Well,
that's where the pretty part comes in.
Solid. All right, core wood. I'd really like a painted body with this.
Okay.
So we're going to see some things.
Yeah.
But they're going to be covered in paint.
So, but you know, do you have like a wood that maybe you think would sound better, or you know, or for what you're preferring? Because if it's going to be covered, then it really falls to like what your preference is. Again, you could show a few if there's some people that maybe just would want
I think if I wasn't hell-bent on one of their cool paint jobs, I really like stuff like Black Carina, or you have like Walnut's always super cool.
Sure.
Because you just don't see it on a lot of production guitars.
Swamp Ash sounds very cool.
Yeah, it actually does sound very cool. I really like Swamp Ash. I think for me, the two for this style of guitar, Swamp Ash and Basswood, are my favorites. And Basswood's pretty plain, but it's going to be painted. So that's, again, the one thing. You can hear the cat just munching away. Well, it's good that he's eating biscuits and not the lasagna on the table. So I reckon Swamp Ash. And again, it's going to be painted, so we'll just do. We don't need one piece, just standard. I mean, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Laminate. I mean, look, if you're going a natural finish or something, do the flame maple.
That's quite fun.
Yeah, that's really nice.
I like that I love that ripply texture.
Man, it'd be so interesting to do something with spruce, because that's normally, you see that on acoustic guitars. Sort of the opposite of all the bling you get with the flame maple.
Goose.
Get in the spruce goose, Smithers. How cool is this?
That's cool.
Yeah. Zebrawood.
It feels very 70s somehow. Maybe it's just the color.
I think that'd be like a 70s, like if you had a shag carpet and that was on the walls.
Yeah.
A rear route. And then for pickups, I want this to just be an absolute, just does one thing. And that thing is like our cat, a giant chungus. So no neck pickup, no middle pickup. I'm just going to have a humbucker in the bridge. Super simple.
Yeah, these are all techie things. So
yeah. Now you can spec out where you want the controls. Like you have multiple pickups, you can have your switch hole on there. Where they put the volume control, I reckon I will get annoyed at it being that close. So it's just going to have one volume control, but we'll put it in the like an out of the way position.
Yeah.
I think that'll be cool. So this is going to look pretty minimalist so far. I just want to see more of the paint.
Yeah.
Whatever we end up picking for the paint.
That's what I'm holding out for.
This is like a Schrodinger's battery box. Because I know if I pick this, I'll end up putting in a pickup that doesn't need a battery box. And if I don't, I'll change my mind and want to put in a pickup. All right, we're going with none. It's going to have a big control cavity on there.
Yeah.
All right.
Paint category. So you cannot have a plain black guitar.
So this...
And the first color.
This is what I would spec. But we're not doing that. Look at all of this, though.
Whoa.
Yeah, they got some...
That's like Revlon red.
Yeah. Look at these. These are some classics. Look at all of these colors. They got the classic Fender colors. Like you got some...
like the nice like 50s.
50s stuff. Yeah, Sonic Blue. See, I always confuse Sonic Blue and Surf Green. They're so
but Surf
close.
Green, is Surf Green. I don't even know what else to call it.
Taos Turquoise. So these are just...
Taos.
Taos.
Yeah. Taos, New Mexico.
Oh, of course.
Turquoise. Yeah.
That's where you get... Yeah, okay. What are the metallic colors like? Let's see.
Are they going to show? Ooh.
Blue ice. What's that? Oh, okay. So there'll be a flake in them.
Yeah.
That's cool.
What's that black cherry one?
Black cherry. Okay, is this allowable? Is this as close as I'm going to be allowed to get to a plain black guitar?
Look, because it's not plain black. I feel like, again, if I was picking something out for you, but then I'd be like, he cannot have another plain black one. I would do something like this because it's just like a hint of something different. That
is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, here I am just like, I wear black t-shirts and black jeans and play black guitars all the time.
Yeah.
You can also do metallic.
Like 360 turns, so you could see them shimmering.
Feature request Warmoth. There's flake as well. I was going to say,
what was the flake one? I didn't remember.
So flake is... That's
See,
very
these are
bling.
ones that I would go into a store and be like, that's cool. And you would be like, absolutely
Look, I'm coming
no way.
I'm coming around like that hollow flake.
You do have a hollow flake.
There's the Tyler up there, which is probably just out of shot. So I've kind of already, again, trying to cover stuff that...
I'm weaseling into you. Yeah. Get some sparkly stuff.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I really like the black cherry.
Secret bling.
Secret bling. This is what I want. Secret bling. And obviously the back color we want to have is black.
Match. Yeah.
And I mean, like with that, you need gloss, right?
Yeah, you want the sparkle to really.
You can do whatever you want. Yeah. But yeah, look at that.
I think because that's probably going to be a bit muted. You want to have the high shine on it.
All right. So is this going to be it? Look, if you suffer from option paralysis, you can just you can lose a lot of hours on here, but it'd be a lot of fun. They also just have in stock bodies as well. Like you can just, if you suffer from option paralysis, do that. Just see what they have in stock. But if you have somebody to guide you through your decisions, like I do.
If you're like me and you love just doing the character customization in your video games and stuff, you're gonna have a blast with this because there's like so many options.
All right, it's gonna happen, and thanks to the magic of television, and hopefully the magic of international shipping, and everything else that goes with that, at some point soon, we'll see what this actually looks like.
It's exciting.
Very exciting. So a baritone, dinky caster, black cherry. Let's do it. A few weeks later, and here it is. I really like this dinky caster shape, and the finish is a lot more understated than I expected, which I definitely like. I think it looks classy. The combination of roasted maple and Goncalo Alvarez on here is exactly what I was going for. Look at those big, shiny frets and that lovely figuring in there. This is unfinished, but it feels so smooth under the hand that I don't think I'm going to do anything other than just oil this one to keep it in check, and it fits so nice and tight in there. This one is primed to have screws put in it. I'm very, very excited about this. I ended up going with a hip shot bridge. I have one of these on my Rubato Lassie. It's just a very elegant, understated design. Again, kind of ties in with the rest of the guitar on there. Going for the all black hardware, I think fits the overall vibe on here. One thing that I didn't realize with this is obviously to install it, you have to take a bunch of the saddles off to get to those screws. One thing that I did remember, I'm really proud of myself here, is running a ground wire to the bridge. And at this stage, I wasn't sure if I was going to go for a passive pickup or something like an EMG, just having that ground wire in there as a fail-safe if I want to swap the pickups does save me dismantling the guitar. And look at that bridge on there. It already looks like it's coming together very, very nicely. I ended up going with Godot locking tuners. These did take a while to arrive because of the Christmas season and all of that. So once I got them on there, lined them up with a ruler, I could get to it. The one thing I did want to do was roll the fingerboard edges, and I just used a scraper and a 400 grit, then 600 grit little sanding pad that I got from my local Bunnings. Also, why does my arm look so weird in that lighting on there? So this was really, really straightforward to do, and I've done this to a bunch of my guitars before. If you've never done it before, though, definitely try it on a cheaper guitar. You know, a little bit of sanding ASMR. So we've seen the hardware go on. We've seen what I have done with the parts on here. Basically very little work. Let's take a look at the finished guitar. It's alive, and it absolutely screams. As we're about to hear, the studio lights give you a much better idea of that dark cherry metallic flake in there. You can also see that I ended up settling on a single EMG 81 in the bridge. I was tossing up between this and a Duncan distortion. At the end of the day, it was just a much easier install to use the EMG. I'm lazy, and as this guitar was coming together, I thought, you know what? Not only do I not have a baritone, I don't have an active pickup drop tune guitar, so it feels like it would be a good combination. I really like the Warhead headstock on here, and the Dinky Caster together with it I think is a great combination. When you sort of look at it, it's not immediately obvious that it is an offset, and when you see it side by side with a traditional bass guitar and an electric guitar, it's right in between. And I do have to say, the way I've strung this up, I've got 11 to 54s in drop A on it. It's definitely a guitar. I think some modern baritones fall into that uncanny valley of it's not a bass, it's not a guitar, it's sort of its own thing, but is it? I mean, this definitely plays like an electric guitar. The neck profile on here, I think, is the real standout. It is very, very comfortable, but also massively chunky. It is so comfy to hold in your hand down here. I'm not sure what I'd compare it to in the lineup of guitars that I've got. I don't think I have anything that is this girthy, but in combination with those giant stainless steel frets on there, the tusk nut, I've just strung this thing up and adjusted the intonation and the action very, very roughly, and it's already kind of singing. So that's always good. I think the thing that I can say about this is that it doesn't feel like a collection of parts slapped together. It going through the process where this baritone conversion neck slots into this body so nicely, and you can see the little groove that they've got on there to retrofit it to any body like this. The fretboard, the fit and finish overall, putting it together, screwing everything in, installing it, it comes out as an instrument that if I saw this in a store or I custom ordered it, I'd be very happy to hold in my hands. Rolling the fingerboard edges, I think, was a good move on here. It's very, very comfortable. I haven't dressed the frets or tidied up the ends yet. That's something I might do at some point very, very soon, just so I can make the overall experience super slick and maybe a little more in line with some of my custom instruments. But, you know, this giant chungus of a guitar does one thing very, very well, and actually does a bunch of other things very well. Let's hear some tones out of this now. process was super enjoyable, and I'm stoked with this instrument that I have put together. I love the aesthetics, I love the tones, I love the way that it plays. I also love that it was such a pain-free process to put this together. Absolute sledgehammer of the EMG 81, the baritone conversion neck, and the classiness of this dinky caster body, I think is a winner. I'd love to hear from all of you if you've put together guitars from Warmoth parts, what you've done. If you'd go for something like the dinky caster on a future build, if you'd consider something like a baritone neck to convert one of your 6 strings into a baritone. I think this is probably one of the most underrated products that Warmoth make at the moment. It just feels so good under the hands. I'll pop a link to the Warmoth website in the video description if you want to learn more about the parts that I used for this build. I'd also recommend subscribing to their excellent YouTube channel, whether you're somebody who's wanting to put an instrument together yourself or you just want to delve into some general guitar nerdery. A big thank you to Aaron and the whole team at Warmoth for making this video happen, and to my amazing wife Elspeth for helping me out select all the parts on this build. I'd love to hear from all of you in the comments, and grab your guitars and go make some loud noises now. I will see you all on the next one, and you'll be seeing this guitar in a bunch of upcoming videos. Cheers. Is that a requisite amount of blingery?
I like the sparkle. It's good. It's a good amount of sparkle, good amount of black, but you know, what do we call it? Secret bling.
And here's the requisite shredding at the end as well.